Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today, this is a members video. This is an early release members video. So I am releasing this to the members first. That explains that unusual introduction that is not familiar to most of you. And then this is releasing to the general viewers on my channel. What I wanted to talk with you today is about tags, plant tags. And so there's a few different approaches, few different things on plant tags. I did a YouTube search for plant tags, and there's so many things out there, and there's a lot of creative YouTubers coming up with ideas for how you should make tags out of wood, out of metal, out of really everything. And what I want to share with you is some of the approaches that I used for tags for my plants. And I use two different approaches depending on what I'm doing. So for my large orchids where I only need a tag or two, I will use tags, these plastic tags that I just get from Amazon. And these tags, sometimes these tags, and there's large sizes and there's smaller sizes of these. So you can get these in a variety of different sizes. And the way that you mark on these tags, a lot of times people will say to use Sharpies, permanent marker on these tags. But the reality of it is that the Sharpie, the permanent markers, those will fade in the sun on these tags. So I never use Sharpies. I never use the thick black permanent markers on these tags. I always use pencil, and the pencil stays on there. It doesn't fade. It's kind of counterintuitive. It's not what you would think, because you've got the permanent markers that are not really permanent that do fade, but then the the simple little pencil here is what stays on these markers. So I have, this is a tag that is on this plant right here, and this is Jamaica Red, and this is just a white tag that I wrote in pencil probably about 2 years ago, and it just hasn't faded at all. You can see it really clearly, and this works really well. As far as getting these tags, so this is a color tag. It's blue. It's harder to see pencil on a blue tag. I don't know why I bought it, but I did. So I prefer the yellow ones or the white ones, the yellow ones, or the more light colored ones when I'm going to be marking individual plants. I really like the white tags here. And again, sometimes the tags are one-sided is a little rougher, one side's a little rougher, a little better for writing on them than the other, but these tags, it's the same on both. And again, it may be counterintuitive, but I always use pencil on these plastic tags. The other thing that I have on these plants, and this is what I use most of the time, and this is what I want to spend most of the time in today's video talking with you about. So these are look like they look like very professional made tags. They're long lasting and they work great. And when I've made my videos in the past, I've shown you some of my seedlings that have these tags in them. And if you take a look at my plants, all of my plants in my orchid nursery, and these are deflast plants that I have, tens or hundreds of, they have these nice tags in them. And they stand up well to the weather. They look nice. It's not handwriting. And these are really cheap tags. These are not. You can buy tag printers and special tag material, and that's pretty expensive. And I'm thrifty. If you know me, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm thrifty. And these are, it takes a little effort as far as, troubleshooting and working things out. But these are, after you get a few things worked out, which I've done, and I'm going to share with you today, these things are really great to make. They're they're long lasting. They actually last longer than the plastic pots. So I have some plants that have been in these some plastic pots for a few years, and the plastic pots are actually starting to get crumble a little bit. They're starting to get a little brittle, but the tags are still flexible, you know, loose and flexible, and there's no fading. So these little tags that I've made work really great. All right, so these things again are these plants here that I have in front of me. These were brought home from the laboratory maybe within the past few months, but you know, again, even over the course of a few years, these tags are still intact and they do work very well. Sometimes what you'll see on the base of some of these tags, when they're in contact with the orchiata, you'll see some slight discoloration, but for the most part, it's good. Now, these are small tags. These are going into 2-inch pots, and again, some of the ideas that I've seen for large tags, you know, that where you use, you know, large pieces of wood or metal, you know, it's a little bit of a different type of tag for a different situation. So these tags are not what you're going to put in your vegetable garden. This is what I use for my orchid seedlings. All right, so what are these tags made of? And how difficult are they to make? So these are printed on a laser printer, and so I have a Brother laser printer, but I think you can use HP, you can use any laser printer, and what I print out on is some waterproof paper. And what I'll do is we'll take a look at the supplier, and the supplier of this paper that I use is Terraslate. Terraslate makes a few different thicknesses of paper, and they use they make a few different different types of paper. They've come out recently with a polyslate that is a polypropylene. Again, this is all plastic, but the LaserJet printer prints onto this paper both sides, and if you set up your template just right, you can cut these out, and these tags, you know, these nice professional looking tags cost 4 cents each to make. And in order to put things in perspective, just so you know, I buy these 2-inch pots, and I'm pretty thrifty when I buy these, and these are a little less than 20 cents each. So, you know, so I keep track, because of my business and what I'm doing, I keep track of costs that are associated with different things. Now, the thing is, it's difficult to print out 1 or 2 tags, so I print these out in groups of 24. And that lets me print all that I need for this price. So if you don't need 24, well, fine, watch along, see what I do. There may be applications for you. But I do this because normally when I have orchids in a flask, I have 25 plants per flask. So it's just convenient. It's a nice size for printing these things out and putting these in there and keeping a real good permanent marker of what these look like. Now, let me back up. We're going to go in a second. We're going to go to the Terraslate website, and we're going to look at the 2 different types of paper that they sell. But again, the polyslate, I didn't mention it before, polyslate is a different type of polymer. They say it's different type of paper. The polymer that was put together to make the paper is just a little bit different. It's not supposed to be as stable as the Terraslate paper is, but it's a more cheaper variation of this paper. Both of them are waterproof. Both of them hold up pretty well. The use for most of these paper, most of the time, is for like menus, waterproof menus and things like that. And again, they come in various thicknesses and different types of things, and you can print, again, from a black and white or a color LaserJet printer. You can print on these different paper types. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. This just to give you a general overview of tags and what I'm using. But what we're going to do is, let's go to my computer and we'll look at the Terraslate website, and then I'll show you the template that I developed for the tags, and then I'll print out a page and cut it off for you, because yes, You make 24 tags per page. I'll show you how I cut it up and prepare the final tags, and how I store the tags as well. All right, so let's go to my computer and we'll show you the website and the template. Okay, this is the Terraslate website that you go to right here, and this is Terraslate, and you go to the site and they will have a bunch of the lists here as waterproof laser printer paper any size, and they make different thicknesses. So they make the here is the 8 mil, 5 mil, 8 mil, 10 mil, 14 mil, and then the Polyslate that we'll take a look at in a little bit. For the tags that I make, I use the 8 mil waterproof paper. So this is, this is what I use. It seems to work well for me. If you want something a little thicker, you might be able to go to the 10 mil. Every time you get a little thicker though, the price goes up. So if we click on the 8 mil waterproof paper, this gives you an idea, and then this comes in different sizes: 8.5 by 11 standard size, 8.5 by 14 larger, and then they even make it colored paper in different sizes for menu and a bunch of different things. So this is I'm going to click on the 8 mil, just a white paper that's 8.5 by 11, and this shows you the cost for the paper right here for 25 sheets. And just so you know and so you understand, I'm going to take a look at the 100 sheet, and that's 100 for 100 sheets. It's $103. So it's $1 a sheet, and like I said, you make 24 tags per sheet, so it ends up being about 4 cents each. And that's how much it is. All right. So let me go back a little bit to the original page, and then we'll take a look at Polyslate, which I've just tried recently. So the Polyslate is supposed to be a value. Here it says value waterproof paper, and so you click on the Polyslate, and let's take a look at 100 sheets of this. And 100 sheets is $92, so it's a little bit cheaper than the Terraslate, and I haven't really figured out if it's any better. I think the thickness, one thing that's interesting is the thickness of the Polyslate. It's the standard size. It's a new product for them. So the this new product, it only comes in, I think, a 10 mil thickness. So it's a little thicker than the tag size that I've been using when I was cutting the Polyslate sheet that I tried. It did behave a little bit differently. I was fine, and it's still waterproof, but we'll see how it works. Okay, let's back up a little bit more, and I wanted to show you this. And so this is what I did, and I got the Polyslate samples because I buy from these guys. They sent me an email and said, we're having a special, get samples for free. So you clicked on this, and you can get, you can just add it to the cart, and you can get the sample 8.5 by 11 of Polyslate for free. And I just wanted to try the Polyslate, but when I clicked on it, add it to the cart, and when it arrived, I was really pleased that they sent Polyslate the one size that they have, the one size and thickness that they have, but they also sent me for free samples of the various thicknesses of Terraslate. So this was really nice. I'm not sure how long this is lasting. Normally it's only $7, so it's not a whole lot for these sample sheets, but it was free. So if you're interested in this, and if they're still having their promotion for evaluating the Polyslate, you can click on this and get this for free. I'm still having, I've printed this out. It's in some of my pots, but I don't know how long lasting this will be. All right, so what I want to do next is show you the template that I made, that I developed for my tags. And what I'm going to go is right here. This is just a Word file, and this is Dendrobium woohoo. So what I do on one of the sides of the tag here is I put dendrobium woohoo, and then I put the parentage. So this is Judy Roots times Wu Lang. And so what I do is I make, again, this is 12 on the side here, but then what I do is I print out the one side of the sheet here, and then I turn it over and print on the other side of the sheet. You can take this template, this table, and turn it upside down, but I just decided that in my situation it would be easier just to print on one side and then print on the other side. And the thing is, as you are developing your own template for this, you know, try it with not the dollar sheet paper, but just try it with standard paper. And I think when it prints out on the opposite side, on the left side of the page, it's upside down. So this is the top of the tag here, and this is the bottom of the tag. And what you'll see in a second, when I print this out, I cut this out, and then I cut the ends of each of these individual tags off so it's a pointy end. The other thing is that I do print on both sides. So I print on the back side of this tag, I'll print the name of my company and the little tagline that's associated with that. So this is paper, as you might imagine. It's waterproof paper that you can print on both sides. You can do it color. I only have a black and white LaserJet printer because I'm thrifty, but for my applications it works well. I put pictures on this also, so you can put schematics, you can put you know, whatever you want on this tag, and you can get as fancy as you like with it. The thing is, though, when you do cut these, sometimes I'm not cutting, and I'll show you in a minute how I do this. I don't cut perfectly straight. So make sure that you have enough border on the top and bottom of these tags. All right, so what I'm going to do off camera is print out a sheet, and then I'll turn the camera back on, and I'll show you how I cut and trim these tags. Okay, and we're back. So I printed out my tags on a piece of the Terraslate paper right here, and this is the name of the orchid here, and then my company name is on the back. So I use, like I said, I use 8mm paper from Terraslate. This is what it came in, and I actually don't, I'm going to start buying the 100-pack sheet. This is still a 50-pack sheet right here, but you know, it lasts me such a long time that I'm using this for a while. The sample pages that Terraslate provides to you is right here. So that came in this envelope, and here's all of the information and literature from Terraslate here. More information here, just lots of different information on the size of the paper and the cost associated with it, and everything is on what they supply to you. On the sample sheets, that if you can get them for free, or even if you have to pay for them, there's a lot of sheets in here, so it's a good deal one way or the other for $7, which I think is the regular price. There's a couple of 5mm sheets right here, and these are thin. So then there's the 8mm size that's right here. Then they have 10 and 14, and once you start getting into these are really thick, especially the 14mm. It may be a little bit more challenging to cut these thicker sheets with the paper cutter, the cheap paper cutter, which is what I use. So what I want to do is show you, and I'll probably go through this pretty quickly and zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. But what I'll do is I'll show you how I cut this sheet using this paper cutter. So let me readjust and zoom in, and so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so we are back, and there's not much to this, and you might not be able to see too much of it, but what I do is I just use a standard paper cutter and cut off these strips. So this is the first strip. It doesn't have anything on it, and when you cut the strips, sometimes I try to get as good as I can with this, but sometimes the cuts aren't perfect. So you do the best that you can, and you work as quickly as you can. So each one of these tags that I'm cutting, each one of these strips that I am cutting off here has 2 tags in it. And what I'll do at the end, and they're lined up pretty good, they're not perfect, but at the end what I'll do is I'll put them in groups, and I think what I figured out is that you can cut these with a good high quality scissors to make the final cuts on them. And what I found out is that you can do about 6 sheets at a time without killing yourself. Because this is thicker paper and it's plastic, and I'm just using a good scissors to cut them. So this is the last sheet right here. There's the spare sheet, and so these are my tags right here. And like I said, I've got 2, each one of these is 2, but then I have to split them in half. And so these are 6 pieces, and right in the middle, I have to cut them with a good scissors right here. So I'll make this cut right here with this scissors, put this down, and then I'll grab the second group and do the same thing with that. And again, it's the same thing over again. Cut that in half. The next step here is, while I still have them grouped in these lots of 6, I cut off the ends. So what I do for that is, and this is a little trickier to do, and sometimes it takes double cuts because the paper moves a little bit. Alright, so that's the first group, and I'm just making something that looks like it's in the, you didn't see the first group. I'm making something that looks like a regular plant tag, and you know, a lot of times when I'm done with this, I got to really make sure that I clean up, because there's little pieces of plastic from these tags that are all over the place. So I've got 2 more sets, and 2 more sets to do, and this is you know, this is an effort, but I'm set up to do this, and for the kind of work that I'm doing and for the number of orchid seedlings that I'm generating, it's really important to generate this number of high quality tags. Alright, so this is the last group here, and I think you're getting a flavor for how this is done. Alright, so these are my tags, and this hybrid is Finer Love, which is Love Blushes times Otimus Grandolite. Each one of these has 6 tags in there, so 4 times 6 is 24. All right, so how do I store these things? So what I do is I have these envelopes that I use, and these are number 5 coin envelopes that you can get from Amazon. And originally I got the you know, the regular, this color right here, but then what happened is I ended up, these just aren't, they're very flimsy and they fall apart. Maybe the quality is not good, but what I'm ending up going with now is these, and these fit in here just nicely. So this is, again, and I labeled the outside of the envelope, this is Finer Love, which is what I told you, it's Love Blushes times Otimus Grandolite, and these envelopes seem to be a little bit more sturdy, and this is how I store them. So I will just grab the tags all together and put them in here, and then I stack all of these and hold them together with a rubber band. Okay, so that's tags. That gives you an overview. Oh, and the scissors, if you didn't see, the scissors, these are good quality, heavy-duty scissors that you need in order to cut sheets that are this thick. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to show you how I make my tags and how straightforward and how pretty simple this was to do. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for you today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.